Spoiler alert for Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is the movie of the year so far, in my opinion. So, for some cons, I was definitely a little confused towards the beginning. I feel like if you aren't a history buff, you might not understand some of the dialogue or some of the themes. But as I continued to watch the movie, I started to understand more. Also, Kitty's character, played by Emily Blunt, was kind of a little, I don't know, it was out of place. We go from serious end of the world type stuff to her crying and whining. I don't know. Now for some pros. There are a lot. The silent opening credits are a reminder that the bomb is silent until it hits you. The movie is definitely made for IMAX. I don't think that you can see it without IMAX. It just doesn't bring the same oomph. It's insane how none of these shots had CGI. It's crazy. I love how Nolan showcased Oppenheimer's opposition towards the bomb instead of just making it a story about the atomic bomb. Little quotes such as dropping the bomb on the just and unjust help with the uncertainty. If you think about it, this is a point of view story from Oppenheimer's point of view. So not seeing the bombs dropping over Hiroshima and Nagasaki is because Oppenheimer doesn't see it. So I like that little detail. I like how how Nolan didn't put that in the movie. I think it would be too excessive if he did. The sound mixing in this movie is amazing. You don't hear the explosion right away from the atomic bomb. Instead, you have to wait till the sound wave hits your ears, just like in real life. The score is also amazing. Ludwig Göransson is great. Definitely was not expecting a score that fit the story of Oppenheimer so well. I like when Oppie said, once they see the nukes, they will fear it. Once they fear it, it brings peace, basically. That wasn't the quote, but I'm just paraphrasing. It sums up the movie to a T and fits the world today so perfectly. I also like how they subtly name-dropped a young senator from Massachusetts named Kennedy, trying to make a name for himself as someone who held out on straws. There are so many things that I want to say are the best thing about this movie, and that's the mark of a good movie. One of those things is how Christopher Nolan is the GOAT, greatest of all time, of creating tension. In this movie alone, there are so many instances of tension that make us viewers sit up on the edge of our seats. The scenes of discovery intercut with explosions inside Oppie's mind. The building of the actual bomb intercut with the explosions, and the biggest tension getter of the movie is when the countdown started. I knew what was about to happen. I knew it would drop, but I was still excited, and then to follow it up with pure silence. Another thing is the acting of RDJ and Cillian Murphy. Both should get Oscar nominations, in my opinion, and that's just the bottom. I think both of them have an opportunity to win. There was a lot more of RDJ than I thought. In the trailers, they rarely showed him, but boy, am I glad that he ended up being in almost the whole movie. While Cillian Murphy was the main character, RDJ stole the show, in my opinion. Normally, main characters are expected to have a few scenes where they can showcase their talents, but I feel like Cillian Murphy made every scene that he was in great. Matt Damon as well. While it wasn't as Oscar-worthy as RDJ or Murphy, he did a great job of being an a-hole, while also bringing comedic relief in some instances. Like I said in the Mission Impossible movie, one of my favorite quotes is to use the absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I don't think I have to explain what I mean by in this case. Another quote I liked from this movie is when Strauss says, "Power stays in the shadows," and it's true. When he convinced Borden to write a letter to the FBI, he was in the shadows. When Oppie said the quote about the two scorpions fighting and how both are capable of killing each other, but at the risk of their own life, is a metaphor of how Americans' acquisition of the atomic bomb now gives America the power to kill other hostile countries, but also opens up Pandora's box of what they can do to us. As for the grade, I'm going to give it a 96 which is right behind Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is definitely a top 5, maybe top 3 of Christopher Nolan movies. It was just, I don't think there were very few bad things about it. Next movie I'm going to be reviewing is a movie apparently based on a theme park ride. So that sounds interesting. You're told I'll be a hard temptation.